Underneath the surface of Japan's vibrant entertainment industry, the lives of actors often unfold in ways that fascinate the public far beyond the screen. When two names appear together frequently, whether on drama sets, in promotional events, or through social media mentions, the curiosity surrounding them inevitably grows. This is exactly what has been happening with Kyoko Yoshine and Kyoya Honda. Both have carved unique paths for themselves, but their increasing proximity has generated waves of speculation that refuse to settle. Fans, journalists, and online communities are constantly trying to decode whether what is visible is merely a professional partnership or something deeper that remains deliberately concealed. The intrigue begins with the undeniable chemistry that the two display when appearing together. On set, their interactions feel natural, unforced, and genuine, leading many to believe that such ease cannot be staged. The glances exchanged during interviews or the playful banter that flows between them hint at a bond that might extend beyond scripts and camera lights. Fans quickly pick up on these subtleties, replaying moments, dissecting gestures, and sharing clips online that appear to validate their suspicions. In an era when fandoms thrive on micro-expressions and hidden meanings, every laugh and every shared smile becomes part of a larger puzzle. What makes the situation even more compelling is the way both Yoshine and Honda have handled these rumors. Neither has explicitly denied or confirmed anything, choosing instead to maintain a careful balance. They often acknowledge each other with respect and warmth, but stop short of statements that would clarify the true nature of their relationship. This deliberate ambiguity only adds fuel to the fire. For many admirers, silence speaks louder than words. If there were truly nothing beyond professionalism, wouldn't it be easier to dismiss the chatter directly? Their choice to remain elusive creates an atmosphere where every small update seems monumental. Observers also point out how the careers of both actors appear to have intertwined at significant moments. When Yoshine has been taking on new, challenging roles, Honda has been visible nearby in different capacities, sometimes as a co-star, other times as a public supporter. This mutual presence suggests not only camaraderie but also a shared understanding of the pressures and triumphs of the industry. In show business, where schedules are demanding and public scrutiny can be suffocating, finding someone who genuinely understands becomes invaluable. This shared professional environment naturally paves the way for personal closeness. Yet, the speculation doesn't stop at the professional level. Social media has become the playground where fans hunt for hidden clues. Matching accessories, similar backgrounds in private photos, or even overlapping timelines when they post updates trigger widespread conversations. Whether these are coincidences or subtle acknowledgments of a deeper bond remains unknown, but the impact on the fan base is undeniable. Online forums and fan communities engage in long debates, with some convinced they have uncovered the truth, while others argue that people are simply reading too much into everyday details. Behind this frenzy lies the cultural context of celebrity relationships in Japan. Unlike in some Western industries, Japanese entertainers often keep their personal lives meticulously private, understanding that public revelations can alter their careers dramatically. Fans are protective, sometimes even possessive, and the discovery of a hidden romance can be met with excitement or disappointment depending on how it aligns with audience expectations. Yoshine and Honda, aware of this delicate balance, may be choosing silence as a form of control, ensuring that their professional reputations remain untarnished while leaving their private choices outside the spotlight. Industry insiders, when asked, offer carefully worded comments. Some describe them as having a unique comfort level with each other that goes beyond most co-stars. Others suggest that they simply share a strong work ethic and that mutual respect is often mistaken for intimacy. But even these neutral observations do little to dampen public curiosity. Instead, they act like cryptic confirmations, further encouraging the belief that something unspoken is being protected. It is this very ambiguity that keeps the story alive, allowing speculation to expand rather than shrink. The human element in this entire narrative is perhaps the most relatable part. Fans aren't just fascinated because of who Yoshine and Honda are, but because their possible story echoes themes everyone understands: companionship, secrecy, and the tension between what is shown and what is hidden. The possibility of two people navigating their connection under intense public gaze resonates deeply. It is a reminder that even those who live glamorous lives are bound by the same emotional threads, seeking trust, understanding, and affection in ways that feel familiar to anyone who has ever balanced personal desires with external pressures. What complicates matters further is how these rumors affect their public images. For Yoshine, who has long been admired for her sincerity and down-to-earth charm, being associated with Honda adds an aura of romantic intrigue that some see as refreshing. For Honda, often described as versatile and charismatic, the link to Yoshine elevates his profile, presenting him as someone admired not only for his talent but also for his possible romantic choices. In the entertainment world, such associations can either strengthen a star's standing or risk overshadowing their achievements, depending on how the narrative evolves. Over time, fans begin to imagine scenarios beyond what is visible. Could they be sharing quiet dinners away from the cameras? Did they exchange supportive messages after difficult shoots? Are there moments of laughter and vulnerability that only they are privy to? These imagined fragments build an alternate reality that keeps the fascination alive. Even if none of it is true, the mere possibility is enough to sustain public interest. Stories thrive on what-ifs, and this is one narrative that offers endless possibilities without requiring concrete confirmation. The way rumors spread also tells us much about the media ecosystem. Entertainment outlets know that Yoshine and Honda's names together generate clicks and discussions, so stories are crafted to highlight ambiguity, leaving enough room for interpretation. Each new article or headline becomes a piece of evidence in the ongoing mystery, pushing the conversation forward. Meanwhile, fans contribute by amplifying these stories across social platforms, ensuring that the speculation never fades. It becomes a self-perpetuating cycle where uncertainty is the fuel. Amid all this speculation, the two actors continue their careers with poise. Their professional output remains the foundation of their public personas, reminding everyone that beyond the personal questions, they are artists committed to their craft. Each performance, interview, and appearance underscores their dedication to storytelling and acting. Perhaps this is the most telling part. Regardless of what may or may not be happening privately, both Yoshine and Honda ensure that their artistry is never compromised by the noise surrounding them. If there is a hidden truth, it may never be publicly revealed, or it may surface years later when the timing feels right. Until then, the mystery remains intact, sustained by glimpses, silences, and imaginations. Fans will continue to speculate, insiders will continue to hint, and the media will continue to frame stories around them. In this delicate dance of perception and reality, Yoshine and Honda embody the paradox of modern celebrity, constantly visible, yet perpetually unknowable. For those who follow them, the uncertainty is not a frustration but part of the allure. It keeps conversations alive, bonds communities of fans together, and ensures that each new development, no matter how small, feels monumental. The fascination lies not in knowing the truth, but in dwelling within the possibility of it. Whether their bond is simply professional or quietly personal, it has already achieved something rare, captivating the imagination of an entire audience and leaving them eager for whatever comes next. And so, the story continues without a definitive conclusion, moving forward with every new project, every shared glance, and every unanswered question. It is a reminder that sometimes, the most powerful narratives are not those that declare the truth loudly, but those that whisper possibilities, allowing everyone watching to draw their own conclusions. Yoshine and Honda, intentionally or not, have created exactly such a narrative, one that grows richer with every silence and every spark of speculation. The story of Kyoko Yoshine and Kyoya Honda is one that has slowly grown into an ongoing conversation among fans, critics, and industry insiders alike. To understand why their rumored bond generates such a strong reaction, one must begin with their individual journeys. Kyoko Yoshine entered the entertainment world at a young age, quickly establishing herself as an actress with depth, sincerity, and a kind of relatability that allowed audiences to connect with her characters in a personal way. She was never just a face on the screen, she brought warmth, vulnerability, and strength into every role she played. Over the years, this reputation for authenticity became her signature, making her one of the most admired actresses of her generation. Kyoya Honda, on the other hand, emerged with a slightly different trajectory. Known initially for his modeling and striking presence, Honda gradually built credibility as a serious actor. His career path is one of transformation, moving from being admired primarily for his appearance to being respected for his versatility, range, and ability to inhabit complex roles. His performances began to carry emotional weight, and fans started seeing him not just as a rising star, but as an artist committed to his craft. By the time his name began appearing alongside Yoshine's, he had already earned his place in the industry, no longer overshadowed by the early labels attached to him. The intersection of their careers occurred at a moment when both were reaching new heights. For Yoshine, challenging roles in television dramas and films had solidified her position as a trusted leading actress. For Honda, his gradual transition from modeling to acting was reaching maturity, allowing him to be cast in roles that demanded both emotional depth and on-screen charisma. When they began appearing together, whether as co-stars or in industry events, their interactions immediately stood out. The connection seemed organic, a meeting of two professionals who not only understood the technical demands of acting but also shared an unspoken ease that is rare to find in front of cameras. Fans noticed this almost instantly. Interviews where they were seated side by side revealed body language that seemed unusually comfortable. While other co-stars often kept their answers safe and polished, Yoshine and Honda displayed a relaxed dynamic. A teasing remark here, a knowing glance there, and occasional moments of synchronized laughter, all of it suggested a rapport that exceeded mere professionalism. Viewers clipped these moments, replayed them, and circulated them online, transforming what might have been passing interactions into viral snippets of evidence. The phenomenon of analyzing such details is not new, but in their case, it intensified quickly. One reason is that both Yoshine and Honda are attractive figures individually, admired not only for their talents but also for their personalities. The idea of them forming a bond together amplified fan excitement. People love to imagine stories behind the scenes, stories that mirror the romance, drama, and emotional connections they see in scripted works. In a way, the speculation surrounding them became an unscripted drama that fans could collectively participate in. Silence, of course, became the most powerful tool in this narrative. Neither Yoshine nor Honda provided a direct response to the questions that inevitably surfaced. When asked about each other in interviews, their answers were polite and warm but stopped short of personal revelations. This restraint was strategic, whether intentional or instinctive. In the entertainment world, especially in Japan, public admissions of private relationships can have unpredictable consequences. Some fans celebrate the transparency, while others feel disillusioned, believing their favorite stars should remain unattached. By keeping quiet, they avoided alienating any part of their audience, while simultaneously allowing the rumors to continue swirling. The ambiguity itself became addictive. Silence allowed fans to create their own stories, filling the gaps with interpretations, theories, and emotional investments. It also provided media outlets with endless material, since ambiguity ensures longevity. Each new sighting or casual mention became a headline, each small gesture dissected in articles that thrived on suggestion rather than confirmation. This cycle repeated again and again, creating a sustained fascination that continues even now. The intrigue surrounding them is magnified by the contrast in their personalities, at least as seen publicly. Yoshine projects an aura of calmness and sincerity, while Honda brings a sense of dynamism and versatility. Together, they form a balance that feels compelling. Fans often speculate that such complementary qualities might be the reason they are drawn to each other, assuming that what works in fiction could also be true in reality. Whether or not this assumption holds any truth, it is undeniable that their combined presence creates an impact larger than the sum of their individual personas. Beyond the surface level of rumor and speculation, their story reflects broader themes about celebrity culture in Japan. The industry places enormous pressure on stars to maintain a clean, controlled image. Careers can rise or fall depending not only on talent but also on how personal lives align with public expectations. For actresses like Yoshine, being linked to someone romantically can shift the way audiences perceive her roles, particularly in projects that rely on her image as relatable and pure. For actors like Honda, a relationship can either enhance his allure by framing him as desirable or create a distraction that overshadows his artistry. These dynamics shape the choices celebrities make, often leading them to guard their private lives fiercely. Fans, meanwhile, play a complicated role. On one hand, they crave connection and transparency, yearning to know more about the lives of the stars they admire. On the other hand, their expectations can be unforgiving, punishing celebrities for decisions that feel too human. This duality explains why Yoshine and Honda may have chosen to stay silent, the safest option in an environment where every word can be twisted, and every revelation can reshape careers. Their restraint becomes an act of control, ensuring that they define their narrative not by what they reveal, but by what they withhold. Interestingly, the fascination with their rumored relationship also reflects psychological aspects of storytelling. Humans are naturally drawn to mysteries, to incomplete stories that invite interpretation. When something is hidden, it becomes more valuable, more exciting to uncover. The allure of Yoshine and Honda's dynamic lies in this very incompleteness. The lack of confirmation turns the rumor into an open-ended story, one where fans become active participants, piecing together fragments to create a narrative that feels personal and engaging. The imagined reality that fans construct around them often blurs the line between fiction and truth. Online communities share theories that range from casual dinners to secret getaways, each one layered with details drawn from photographs, interviews, and unverified anecdotes. While none of these may hold factual weight, they serve as collective storytelling, where thousands of individuals contribute to shaping the myth of Yoshine and Honda. In a sense, the rumor itself becomes a cultural product, independent of whether it is true or false. Media outlets recognize this dynamic and capitalize on it. Stories featuring their names together guarantee readership, and so the coverage rarely stops. Instead of offering clarity, journalists craft headlines that ask questions rather than give answers, ensuring that speculation continues without end. Every time one of them appears in public, the question resurfaces: were they alone, or was the other nearby? The lack of clarity is intentional, because clarity would end the story. Ambiguity, on the other hand, sustains it indefinitely. Despite all the noise, what often gets overlooked is their unwavering professionalism. Both Yoshine and Honda continue to deliver strong performances in their respective careers. They maintain schedules, take on challenging roles, and remain committed to their craft. This consistency demonstrates that whatever might be happening behind the scenes, it has not compromised their artistry. In fact, the speculation may even contribute indirectly, as the heightened attention ensures that more eyes are on their projects, bringing their work to wider audiences. For the fans, the story has evolved into something larger than romance. It represents the timeless fascination with hidden truths, the delicate balance between public image and private life, and the emotional investment people make in celebrities who often feel like extensions of their own dreams. Yoshine and Honda are not just actors, they are vessels for narratives that fans create, narratives that reflect hopes, fantasies, and a desire to believe in something beyond the ordinary. The intrigue will likely continue for years to come. Unless there is a definitive confirmation or denial, the ambiguity will remain a fertile ground for speculation. Perhaps one day, if they choose, they may reveal the truth, whether it is a deep friendship, a fleeting connection, or a long-term romance. Until then, the silence will keep the fascination alive, reminding everyone that sometimes, what is hidden holds more power than what is revealed. As time moves forward, each new collaboration, each event where their names appear together, will reignite the conversation. Fans will look back at old interviews, dissect new photos, and revisit every detail with fresh interpretations. The story of Kyoko Yoshine and Kyoya Honda has become more than just a rumor. It is a living narrative shaped by silence, speculation, and the endless curiosity of those who watch from the outside. It is proof that in the world of entertainment, the greatest mysteries are often not written in scripts, but in the spaces between what is shown and what is concealed.